guys, my name is Kai. Welcome to M is for Movies Reviews, and today we are going to be reviewing Dune 2021. I'm going to be breaking up this review into three parts. One, the plot, which is what happens in the film and the narrative sequence of events. Two, the cinematography, which is everything from the setting to the camera movements. Number three will be the soundtrack of it, the original soundtrack. And just a warning guys, there will be spoilers ahead, so if you have not seen the movie, don't watch this yet. But once you have seen the movie, come back to this video and tell me what you guys thought of it. So without further ado, let's get into it. And another disclaimer, I haven't seen the 1984 original movie. I haven't seen that one, and I haven't read the book either. So this is just coming from the 2021 version. So the movie is about Paul, a brilliant and gifted young man born into a great destiny beyond his understanding. He must travel to the most dangerous planet in the universe to ensure the future of his family and his people. As malevolent forces explode into conflict over the planet's exclusive supply of the most precious resource in existence, spice, only those who can conquer their fear will survive. That's what Google says for the film synopsis. There was a lot to unpack in that movie. I feel like just when things were picking up, the movie was over. Which I understand, it was probably for publicity purposes because they're coming out with another one soon. But, I mean, as soon as the movie started picking up, it was over. When I started understanding about the whole spice and why Paul was hearing the voices that he was hearing and seeing the visions that he was seeing, it was over. I feel like it really picked up 2 hours and 15 minutes in. He had to prove himself to this man that didn't believe that he was the one. And so they fought, and I was interested. I was reeled in. I wanted to see what was going to happen next. What happened next? He won the fight, and then maybe about 5 minutes after that it was over. And I get it, the next movie is going to pick up where this one left off, but yet and still, just based off this one movie, I feel like I got a lot of backstory, but as far as it goes to understanding what Paul's future holds for him, not really. I'm still wondering, what is he going to go on to do? Let's talk about the cast really quick. Timothée Chalamet's performance in this movie was phenomenal. I know some people think that he's overrated, but this movie really showcased his range for me. It's like no matter what role he's given, he embodies that character. Almost like a young Leonardo DiCaprio, in a way, because Leonardo, his range is spectacular. He went from the Titanic to Django Unchained to Inception. Not in that order, but yet and still, all of those. Some of the most memorable characters in film he's played. And I just feel like Timothée has that same range. Anything that you give him, he will embody it. And as for Zendaya's performance, I was expecting more Zendaya, actually, because I thought they were going to be in it like together more. But they met when it was nearly over. Mostly it was visions of her that were going through his mind that he saw. So he didn't actually see her, he saw the visions, which was interesting to say the least. It's crazy how I was able to find out about Zendaya's character without even having Zendaya really on screen. I think that's amazing storytelling. As far as Zendaya's performance, I thought it was good. She barely had any lines until the last 2 hours of the movie, but from what I could pick up, it was nice. I love Zendaya. Jason Momoa, he was amazing. He was so good. It was energetic. It was not too over the top, but I definitely say Dune was one of his best roles he's ever played. I rate the plot an 8.5. What could have been better about it to me was the end. It left me a little unfulfilled because just when the movie was really picking up and going places, it was over. The movie picked up too late for me. Cinematography, absolutely captivating. Cinematographers did an amazing job of capturing that dystopian, sci-fi, war planet look. Greg Fraser, the cinematographer, wow. It was amazing. It was phenomenal. It's just crazy to see how filmmaking has come so far in such a little amount of time. My first dystopian film was my favorite movie of all time, The Matrix. Favorite movie of all time. That was actually my first dystopian sci-fi, if you will, and the cinematographers did an amazing job, but it definitely didn't look like this movie. If you're really big into cinematography, like how things look on screen, watch this movie. The lighting was amazing. The editing was pretty good. Everything was just cinematography wise perfect. I really felt like I was there. It felt good to see a new age sci-fi dystopian film that wasn't Star Trek or Star Wars. You could tell that this had a big budget, and it's like you could see how much effort the cinematographers put into it. And when the soldiers were standing on the planet of war, it looked like the soldiers went on forever. You could see how there was no like blurriness or glitches or anything. You could tell that they edited in all those soldiers one by one, and I was like, wow. And of course, I'm sure half of them were real, but the other half that weren't, that were created into the scene, it's just amazingly done. The best part about Dune for me was the cinematography. Also, I really like the color palette that they used for the movies. It was a bunch of more, instead of like these expressive bold colors that you get from some other sci-fi movies like Star Trek or Star Wars. Star Wars, of course, with the iconic blood red. In this, there was a lot of light greens and a lot of grays and a lot of desert colors. And wow, yes, it was just amazing to see. So the cinematography rating that I give it is a 10. It was just amazing for me. I thought that's what made the movie what it was, really. And now, time to talk about the soundtrack. Hans Zimmer, which is the composer of Dune, did an amazing job. Dune had this soundtrack that I'd never heard of before. Like, you hear this low, throaty voice, and it's like a low. No, I can't do it. My dog's looking at me like I'm nuts. What was that supposed to be? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Karma. I didn't mean to scare you. Okay. Soundtrack, amazing. It was original. It's really rare, I feel like, these days to find a really original soundtrack that hasn't been done before. But Mr. Zimmer managed. It went along with the dystopian vibe, if you will, of the movie. The sound felt cold. It felt like, it almost made you feel lonely in a sense. I can honestly say I've never heard a soundtrack quite like that one. Especially not for a sci-fi dystopian film. It felt futuristic. It sounded futuristic. It sounded like nothing I've ever heard of before. I can't even compare it to anything because I've never heard a soundtrack like that before. It was a phenomenal. My all-around rating for the movie was an 8.5. Would I recommend you see it? Most definitely. If you're into good cinematography and soundtracks that'll blow your mind, this is definitely one of the movies for you. If you're a big dystopian film buff and you like sci-fi movies, I definitely think this is going to be one for the books. So I definitely would recommend that you see this. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed my first video on this channel. If you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see what else I have to say about a bunch of films. Comment down below if you actually saw the movie because of my review. Yeah, I think I covered it all. Is that what they say? Is that what the YouTubers say? Comment. No. Okay. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.